We'll do this for 4 hours.
I know.
This is the whole show.
Who's gonna stop first? That's what I want.
Hey, one second. Are we live?
Whoa.
Whoa.
I think we're live.
Well,
You
I'll
want
see.
me to
Oh,
do
there it is.
Gaming Beast, why don't you do the honors and introduce our amazing billion-fold fanship to this game?
I will. It's actually one of the more popular videos on my channel, and I will say I'm your one and only Gaming Beast, and we are doing the 7th session of Barker's One Shot, which has, and yeah, and I welcome you, and we have all kinds of players here. Of course, Barker from Be a Better Game Master.
Hi.
We have Fox Winter from 7 Rounds Productions. We got Tenju Mitchell from Tenju Mitchell's YouTube channel.
Say hi to-
From Mitchell.
Okay,
Say hi to
Ten
the nice
Ho.
people.
Yeah.
And of course Solar, our one and only Solar, our Mad Dwarf. And we're back again to play another game because last game we were challenged by the Hobgoblins. We were captured and we defeated the werewolf not before Helen, Fox's character, was bitten by the werewolf. And yeah, but I have gained the trust and the leadership of the Hobgoblins, and this is where we stopped.
All right. You guys ready to get started again?
Yep, I'm ready.
No, I told you not to start the thing.
Really?
That's a joke.
Oh. Your jokes, Solar. What would we do without your jokes?
Bazinga!
I have
There
to
we
do
go.
it seriously, otherwise there's no point.
You know what? Here's the thing: Solar, you can say whatever you want because as long as we see your face with that black abyss of a background behind you, it's okay. God forbid we ever actually see a couch back there or something. Like, I really don't want that. Maintain the
There is
mystery.
actually a couch there.
Good guess.
Don't
Spoiler.
tell me. Yeah. I like the idea of just the disembodied head that role plays.
I think Solar is in his own setting where there's no light anymore.
That could be a cool idea for a channel, the disembodied head that role plays.
I think that it would probably be too long of a name. I
That's
don't know.
exactly the point.
Role-playing head.
Oh, okay. All right, so we're going to start this game with Helen. Helen, you see in front of yourself in the distance, and what you can perceive as the distance, a bright, kind of distant white light. And you hear kind of what sounds like cats and puppies screaming in that perceived distance. And it doesn't take very long for you to realize that that sound is not puppies, dogs in pain, animals in pain. It's you screaming. And you begin to come to, and your throat is, as you scream, is just pressing together, bumping up against itself, kind of like a kazoo would, to unleash this sound that's just inhuman and something you've never heard before. And that bright light just comes washing over you, and you sit up in your chair as fast as you can, and you realize it's actually not a chair, it's kind of a cot, a bedroll, and you hear the sound of metal clanking on metal, and you move forward, but you're stuck, and you kind of maybe catch your breath and realize that you are chained to this stone wall behind you, and in front of you is a very rust-skinned hobgoblin who says, a hobgoblin woman who says, "It's okay, it's okay, sit back."
I sit back and just kind of like tug at the wall. It's like, I thought we won.
Won? What do you mean won?
like, last I remember, we won, and Garthor had taken over. I didn't expect to wake up a prisoner.
She says, "Hail, Garthor. You've been asleep for 4 days. The wounds have healed marvelously. I'm sorry, I'm working on my common. We have teachers down here." And she's just kind of touching you where you were bit along the side of your arm, and you might even look and realize, wow, this is a mystical form of healing. Everything is almost completely scarred up, and in many places it's been almost entirely removed, any evidence of a fight or an injury. And she says, Our Caliph Garthor will be here soon to check on you.
I was gonna kind of really just kind of really slowly lean back against the wall and not say anything. Just sit there, just kind of staring, like.
Nice. And as you move back, just the sudden movements and the sound of the chains make this hobgoblin makes her just kind of jump back a little bit, and she kind of looks at you suspiciously, almost afraid. Garthor.
Okay. I step in and I say, "Hey, Helen, how are you doing?"
"Hail, Garthor." And the hobgoblin gets on her knees, and you know that her name is Rasher.
Ratcher has been taking care of you. She's very kind in her way.
You're too kind, my master. You're too kind. You're too kind.
Yes. I'll speak alone with Helen for now. Please excuse us.
But my lord, you'll be alone with... He looks at Helen. She looks at Helen. The beast.
Okay, that's enough of that. I'll be fine.
Yes, my lord. And she just departs. Out through kind of a curtain that is separating this room, which is kind of a makeshift medical area, a cavern room. Looks like the inside of a cave. Somewhat flat floors, and there's a curtain that separates it from outside of it, where you just walked in. Really quick, just to keep you posted on some things that, so we don't have to roleplay you discovering this place, I will just explain a few things to you of what you've discovered. Okay. Garthor, Yasha, and Cassius would all probably be aware of these things. First off, you've come to realize that this underground labyrinth, this dungeon, is less of a dungeon and more of some sort of underground cavernous city. I mean, they have a tavern. They have food. They live on these strange kind of large pistachio-looking seeds that grow through the ceiling of the cavern. Every once in a while, they get some meat, but not very often, because you've heard that above you is the forest, and they call it, just the dark wood or the evil forest. Just very ominous terms.
Right.
They don't often go up there because it's extremely dangerous.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I explained that to Helen first, but at first I say, well, out of character, I would know that Helen would at least... Would I know that from the bite from the werewolf that she contracted lycanthropy?
You'd probably know that there was a chance, and it's rumored that she has.
Okay, that's what I'm guessing.
If Helen wants to roll a medicine check for me really quick to see if she would know.
Well, I will. I will. I want to do this in role playing. I mean, she can roll it. I mean, Fox can roll it, but I want to say this that
Cool.
the reason why you're chained on the wall, and I really apologize for that, but they believe that you might have what they call lycanthropy, and which is like, as far as I understand it, you could change into this creature that we fought, and because it changed back to human. I had a hard time, even with my influence, convincing them of the other way. But I've been, we've been watching over you. You've been now sleeping, and your wounds have healed in a quite a rapid fashion. It seemed somewhat unnatural. So I was guessing possibly it might be the work of your god, possibly. So I don't know.
I'm familiar with the moon curse.
Mm-hmm. So you understand? I mean, I didn't want to do it, but if you would have changed without any of that, you would have control over, and you would have killed somebody. I think you would have been more upset than anybody else. I wouldn't say that it was you, because you wouldn't be in control then of your own self. But that's why I said rather chain you up and give you maybe this rude awakening than a rude awakening that you killed somebody, a friend of ours. Yeah.
What signs have there been?
Have you looked at your wounds, for example? You have healed them much quicker, and you were very close to death. It was a miracle. I thought, there's a good chance that you wouldn't have made it. I mean, it's good we have now the hobgoblins on the side, and they really do listen to me now. But they respect this whole strength, showing of force thing more than anything else. And, like a lot of, more primitive races and tribes usually do. Not necessarily every one of them, but definitely it's true for hobgoblins. So, but, they're also very superstitious. And to be honest, we have fought one of these creatures now, so I am sure of it that they exist. So
It's like, no, it's... I am... Like, I'm schooled in the moon curse. Which, as I believe I'd actually recognized it. There is a bit in the last game we played where you were talking about it.
right.
I rolled a knowledge check, Barker. And you explained some of it to me. I believe you referred to it as the most horrid curse that you know of.
Yes, I did. Good point. Yep.
I believe were your words.
I believe that was I think that might have been an understatement. The most horrid. While you two are talking, you hear some movement. The curtain kind of blows open, and the dark figure walks in. The dark figure that you have come to know as Esper.
Okay.
And he is obviously the former ruler of these hobgoblins, the priest of Vecna, and he says, "My lord, it is time for the funeral. As you know, the customs of our tribes, everyone must be present."
Okay, yeah, you explained it to me in detail. It is something. I'll be there in a moment.
Of course. And it is, of course, up to you, my lord, as to whether or not this friend of yours, as he looks at Helen, would attend as well.
And I will be up to her.
And he bows.
And I bow back.
And he departs.
It's like what? Barker, what is the name of the two moons?
There is, oh my gosh, I thought of temporary names for them. They're totally going to change. The first one is like, I think it's Arcania and Divinia.
It could be one of the names. They could have multiple names.
Hey, shoot out some names. What is the name of the moon? The moons. There are two of them. Anybody?
Asenka.
How do you spell that?
You could call them. You could call one of them the Hungarian name for moon, Hold. That's an
There
idea.
are one of
Mitchell,
them.
spell that in the thing, please.
Senka means shadow in Serbian.
What? What do you say, Barker?
I said Mitchell, spell what you said in the chat.
Hey, can you describe the two of them again?
Yes, one is almost entirely black with orange and red wisps over the top of it, almost like fire colored. And the other is a kind of a slate blue, something that we would understand as being as having terrain, so kind of Mercury like. If we were to compare it with the real world.
I said, how about Lunia and Odium?
That's nice.
Damn, that's a cool mug.
It's the Death Mug of Doom.
Yeah, I know.
The Doom mug of Doom. Of Doomness.
Yep.
Spill-proof bottle, perfect for prosthetic leg hoppers, like myself. No spill.
There we go.
I like Hasenka and Odium. I like Senka. Senka is awesome. But I wouldn't want two
Yeah, I'm
moons
just
with
saying.
almost the same name. No, for sure, that's awesome though. I'll think of another use for it.
What's the
Hasenka sounds a little bit Arabian. That's the way I written it.
Hasenka would be the
Sounds
one.
like a brand of ham to me.
Hasenka would be
Have some
the
Hasenka.
one associated with the moon curse.
Yeah, sounds cool.
There's also Sanka, which is, powdered coffee.
All right, changing it.
It means slave.
I always knew that Sanka would be associated with a curse one day. Sorry, Solar, what were you saying?
Sanka means slay in Serbian.
Slay?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
smelting.
and actually also in Hungarian.
You know what? I'm gonna.
In Hungarian it's Sanko, but it comes from Slavic.
I'm gonna
Senka.
combine. I'm gonna combine the Hasenka and Solars to make that Sanka one. That's cool.
I didn't say
Sanka.
anything. I was just saying what they said, what it meant, but whatever.
I care not. I care not. Sanka.
Don't blame me.
Asenka, I just blended Japanese, Arabic, and what 3 words I know of in Russian.
Short. That's all I got. Я не понимаю тебя.
If you're
Tell me you love me.
No, that's Я люблю тебя. Which
Now you
I
told
do.
me you love me.
Yeah. Now I did, yeah.
Now,
You son of a bitch.
you got tricked.
It's on the internet now.
Yep, it's officially on the net.
Yep, so it makes it real. All right. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, so I'm saying, yeah, well, I have to play ball also because even though I'm in charge, they still respect this Esper guy. So, and I'm gonna play ball at least for a while until we know more about the island.
What phase is sunk in?
You asking me?
Yes.
I don't know, Barker. What phase is Sanka in? Out of character.
Sanka is in full moon, and as of 5 days ago, well, I actually need to study my lunar cycles then. How far does a moon go in 5 days?
The world has magic. You can make it up.
Nope, I ain't doing that. Magic comes
Well, if it's-
secondary to the magic of the world, magic of physics.
It's
It
a
is.
fantasy world anyway.
Well, it's
I
gonna-
know.
Like if you base it off of our moon, it depends on whether or not it's closer, larger, farther
Gotcha.
away.
We're just gonna go ahead and say it's a.
I think
It
the
is.
moon usually does like a 3-day full cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I
it's
think
gonna
so.
be what is that? Waning, waxed is the almost full, right? Waxed.
Yeah.
that
Wax
waning?
is almost full.
Okay, it's a waxing crescent or whatever.
Okay, it's a waxing crescent. It's like almost full.
Oh, it would have just been full because we fought a werewolf 3 days ago or wherever it was that Barker said. So we've got unless the moon's functioning backwards.
It's 5 days ago. 5 days ago.
But what I'm thinking is, Helen, is that until we find, I don't know if this is curable, but maybe a temple of some sort. We should be careful at these specific moon phases, as I've been also told by the Esper and
It's like,
other
yeah,
goblins.
it's a wise thing to do. I think I'd probably better stay here for now.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't know what to say. It's just bad. It could have been me there too.
Well, I would like to point out really quick. This is something that you probably know, is that the reason that Daraka's soldier turned into a werewolf is because of the holes that were drilled through the ceiling,
Okay.
made in the ceiling that let the moonlight through. So you're under the impression that so long as Helen is not exposed to the moonlight, she should be fine.
Okay. So I'm saying, well, the thing is that, as far as I understand, even if the moon is up, it has to be the direct moonlight hitting you in order for you to transform.
Are you willing to risk your life on that?
I trust you. I don't trust whatever curse has befallen you, and the fact that who knows if there could be a random hole. Like, I would say, I would give. I cannot decide that just for myself. I would have to ask the others. Maybe it would be better if you would stay here. I would say come. Yeah, I would say come. But
Good.
you gotta be also. You gotta decide in the end. I wouldn't have to slay you, or at least attempt. I mean, I could also die. So, since the last person who was a werewolf was a weakened Daraka soldier, and I don't know, somebody with your strength becomes a werewolf, what you might be able to do.
Like, I think I should stay here for the time being. It's like,
Okay.
I can figure something out. Like, I want to make sure that that all of you are safe.
When
I'm
we
not
will-
willing to gamble with your lives.
We will figure out a way how we can transport you. I'm hoping for some kind of to find some kind of temple. Maybe there's a cure to this. You never know. I don't understand these things really, but we'll figure something out. You'll be here comfortable. This hobgoblin lady, woman, she'll bring you anything you need. We don't have much in reading materials, but they have something, so. But yeah, really sorry about that. I'll be heading out. They're waiting for me already, but I'll be back, and the others too.
How?
Okay.
I don't out of character. I don't remember their names, but I'm just like, how is the name of the elf woman and her child?
Celine and
I-
no, not Celine. What was it? Calith and
The elven woman was named Salas. Her elven, half-elven daughter was Kayla.
Right. So Barker, how are they doing?
Garthor. You know that they've been missing since the initial battle and capture.
Yeah, they have been missing since the initial battle and capture. And
Same as Dolgren.
Dolgren also has been missing, and we don't know where they are. I've been asking the goblins to, and sent goblin scouts to search for them, but they are very afraid of the woods above. And it seems like Barker, they haven't been finding them in the caves, right?
Yes.
So far. They haven't been finding them in the caves, but the caves are pretty vast, and then the woods above us are vaster, and they're really afraid of the woods, so it's really hard, even with my influence, to motivate them. And, but yeah. I think something is up there that, they don't really are even willing to speak about, so. Anyway, I will go to this thing, and I'll be back, and we can discuss the situation more. So.
Thank you.
Garthor, you also know that Yasha was kind of a chief member in the search parties in the caves, and the only reason he did not lead a search party on the surface was, as you said, the forest. And he even volunteered to go up alone, and that was a big kind of, no, let's just wait, see how this pans out from you.
Right.
It's too dangerous. As you walk out, you kind of brush past the curtain, you actually see Yasha standing next to Cassius. Cassius, you're probably messing around with some voltage in your hand, maybe webbing some lightning in and out. What are you doing?
Playing with my familiar, who I would have summoned 4 days ago.
By the way, I have full hit points again, right?
Yes. It's
And
like
I've-
Diablo. You level up and you're
Right,
like,
right.
boop, you're red bull.
Right. I got 38 hit points, by the way. I wrote 33, but I got 38, so max hit points. Oh yeah, I didn't even roll extra hit points. Don't I get extra hit points?
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
So is it like 1d10, right?
You have
Yep,
D10
a
plus your
D10.
con mod.
Or you can take just 6 plus your con mod as an average.
I will do 1d10 plus my con mod.
Right, you will.
So yeah, I'll do that. Sorry, guys.
It's always the safe bet, and it's
Okay.
the same thing with your gold.
We can do the so you guys are outside. I'm just gonna do this quickly on the side.
Yeah, it doesn't. We'll do it later. Yeah, they're outside. Cassius.
On the
Cassius,
familiar?
you did the spell for the familiar. You summoned it. You actually found this spell in an alcove filled with different literatures of the hobgoblin whose name was Mabel. Strange name for a hobgoblin. That whose neck was snapped by Yasha. That's the funeral that people are actually attending. And you discovered this summon familiar spell in there, and you've cast it, and you're still waiting for the familiar.
Cool.
As you walk out, Yasha is kind of standing there next to Cassius, and Yasha looks very melancholy as he's kind of staring at how they're preparing in a low-ceilinged cave, laying this body on some sort of platform on the floor, and at the four corners of this platform there are chains going upward. And anyway, so just kind of looking at them preparing the body with different possessions. What sort of possessions would they put with the body?
I would say, of course, let's say they're more traditional, and they will give him all the things he'll need to travel to the next world. So they'll actually prepare food for him, and jewelry, and they will give him 2 coins that are going to be on his eye for the ferryman that brings him to the other side of whatever other world he belongs to or believes in.
Cool. Someone walks up holding this snake, like a large constrictor snake, that is discussed was his familiar, and just walks over to a rock and just bashes its head on the rock about 6 times, kills it dead, and just clumps it into a ball and places it on top of Mabel's body.
Okay.
And you see this occur.
I'm just standing there. I'm like really just. I'm there to kind of eat, to appease to the other goblins. I want to show them that I'm supporting them, but I'm not really that interested in this whole ceremony, and I don't want to have a lot to deal with the whole. If there's more Vecna rituals being done, simply because
Can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor and roll a charisma check for me?
Yeah, I can do that. Let me see.
Can I just not be there at all? Like I'm either haven't been like taken there or I'm trying to leave. Either of those will work.
I get a +1.
Whatever.
So
Yeah, sure. Then we'll just get to you next. No problem.
I rolled a 17. I got a +1, so 18.
You see on the faces of these hobgoblins that it means a lot to them that you're there, Garthor. Just seeing you, it's almost like an inspiration. You do see, and you do see that basically you're a motivation to these people. And a member of Mabel's family begins speaking some words, and then a couple of the hobgoblins man these chains, and they say kind of a command, and a third hobgoblin kind of pulls this stone plate across the ceiling, and out from the sky comes this rain, just falling rain, and you see kind of daylight, but not really, just falling rain. It's exposing the cave to the outer elements. And then these two begin pulling the chain, and slowly this platform is lifted until it kind of stops at the ceiling, and then they tie down these chains and let it be. And now Mabel is now on the surface at the kind of the base of this forest for the benefit of the birds and the beasts.
Mm.
And Yasha, you glance over, and describe how your character is feeling. Describe how your character looks right now.
I am trying hard to mask what I am feeling, but I am deeply conflicted with the way this is happening. At the time, I had done what I thought was a good thing. I had taken down a hobgoblin that, if he had notified others, could have gotten those who I'm trying to protect injured or killed. But in the 5 days that we have been down here, I have seen the Hobgoblin Society. I have seen mothers with children. I've seen fathers working hard. I've seen their everyday life down here, and while barbaric and significantly more unsophisticated than a number of these surface dwellers, they are completely sapient. I'm human in the way that they feel, the way that they act, and the knowledge that I had killed in cold blood a living, breathing being that felt these things, that experienced these things, that was important. It was possibly somebody's son. It was possibly somebody's father. It was a brother, a sibling. He had hopes, he had dreams, he had things he liked and enjoyed, and the thought that I callously had taken them away horrifies me in a certain way. And I remember bits and pieces of the conversations that August, my master, would impart to me, telling me that this road I had chosen was foolish, that what I was doing was going to lead me to heartbreak, that, and I'm starting to just glimpse the true impact of what it is that my master was informing me about. The fact that to be a hero is hypocritical at its core. To save, or what I believe to do to save the elven woman and her child, my friends Helen and Garthor and Cassius, as well as even Dolgren, I had killed what I believed to be an enemy, only to later find out that they were just as human, though slightly more barbaric, than us.
Wow. Excellent soliloquy. Really good. Take an inspiration point, please. You feel a hand kind of brush on your shoulder, and you look back and you see Esper, and he looks to you and says, "It is okay, my friend. The culture is different down here." And he looks around and says, "A hobgoblin that has fell in combat deserves to die. Nobody will hold it against you." And he kind of walks away as you continue to maybe hold it against yourself. And you catch the eye of a very, very bronze, a very kind of brown bronze hobgoblin that looks at you and is just glaring, and then with an intense malicious glare walks away as everybody else is still facing and saying their words, and he just walks away through the crowd and disappears. Cassius, are you in the tavern?
Cassius would probably be where all this guy's books were at, and when someone would come to warn him that everyone is supposed to be at the funeral, he'd spend a couple of minutes telling them in what's basically gibberish that doesn't really make a lot of sense, that since nobody from the surface is going to be attending the funeral, neither should he, and at some point the people who would come for him would just give up, most likely.
And the last one who will come is the Garthor's new right-hand man, who says,
Of course, my lord. Of course, the decision is always yours. You are a captain of the Caliph.
and he walks away, revealing a very pale hobgoblin that looks not quite like a hobgoblin. Looks almost like a human. Very interesting. And just looks at you with sharpened teeth and says, "You know, they say that you come from the gods."
Is he talking to Cassius?
Yes, he is.
The gods.
Yes, the gods.
And
They say that
what-
your power are so rare that to see so many of you in one place is better than fate. They say you were sent by those including Vecna himself.
what do you know about Vecna?
I am not like the other hobgoblins in this pathetic grouping. My friend, Cassius, is it?
Cass to my friends, but Cassius to you.
Hint, hint.
Of course.
Sassy.
He says, I do not dabble in the arts of fiction. Fiction such as the gods. All I care about is the fact. And he kind of looks over his shoulder to make sure no one's there. That your big, dumb friend is in charge, and not a more powerful person, such as yourself. And he turns and walks away.
Yeah, sure, but hang on. So
And
you
he
don't
stops and he turns around again.
you don't buy this talk of gods?
He just nods.
We may have a couple of things in common.
He says, it takes a strong leader to unite different tribes of hobgoblins. Very strong indeed. One break and he snaps off kind of the tip of a stalactite. One fault in the stone, and all will be destroyed.
That's an interesting prospect.
I am just looking after my own kind. We need a powerful leader. But I must get to the funeral, my lord.
Yes, certainly. What was your name again?
Ah, yes. My name is Slasher.
Appropriate, most likely.
We've heard his name before.
Have we?
Yeah, it was. I think it was either in some letter that we had, or I heard his name mentioned, but I thought it was actually something else that I probably had mentioned a little bit while overhearing them. Something from Slasher.
Is it possible that you heard Reaver?
Let me check my notes real quick.
Okay. Either way, he kind of bows as he introduces himself. And go ahead and give me a nature check, please, Cassius.
Mm-hmm.
The mage.
Ironborn.
Opening the app.
We can finally see your rolls.
Mm-hmm. 15.
You are certain, almost certain, that this is not a full hobgoblin. And you've wondered about this because there are many of the pale, very pale, ivory-skinned hobgoblins down here. They are clearly half hobgoblin, half something else. Can't quite place it.
Well, feel free to let me know when you have any ideas. Cass sort of waves nonchalantly and turns back to the books and stuff left by the deceased goblin.
And he does. He walks away.
He's been breeding goblin women with orcish men.
It just reminds me of Lord of the Rings too.
Saruman.
And there was a super pale orc in the Hobbit movie.
Oh, I hate that. He's totally CGI. That's the worst part of the movie.
Like in the old movies, they were all people in really cool costumes. Like the Uruk-hai were really menacing. You know,
Wait.
here's like.
You're absolutely right, but did you just call them the old movies?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, those
God
movies
damn
came out
it.
like 10 years ago.
Those are way old. Shut up. I think they came out more than 10 years ago. Because, yeah, they did. Return of the King came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, dang.
They're great. I love the Lord of the Rings trilogy. They're great.
Me too. So, after the funeral, people are kind of milling about. And it's actually true, and people, all of you, if you wish your character to, have heard this rumor that you have been sent by gods. Vecna himself. It's not necessarily a rumor that you are, maybe, perhaps it's up to you, it's your character, a rumor that you are smashing to the ground and saying, no, that's not true, because it's getting you your free drinks and your life, in a way.
I'm more neutral to it because right now I'm not, I know I'm in charge, but I know it can change too, and I can say whatever. Like I don't, I don't deny nor do I strengthen it. I just say whatever they think. So I don't, because right now I'm all about survival, and I am trying to keep an eye out for anybody who's trying to, because anybody who's in a position of power could be attacked by somebody else who wants that power.
Cass would have actually been talking to Esper about Vecna and trying to learn, basically.
And Vecna seems very quiet about that around you, or around anybody.
Wait, Vecna's around me?
No. Esper has been very quiet. Oh yeah, I got you. He would say things such as, well, I am his chosen messenger, and it is part of the code to not include anyone else in that. But I will let you know the second that Vecna advises me to bring you into our lovely conversation.
I actually wouldn't know that Vecna's a god because I failed that roll.
I
And
think
Fox
Vecna-
who did, but just said that Vecna was trouble and that she was evil, or he was evil.
Yeah, okay. So if someone wants to describe it to you, we can roleplay that out. Otherwise, Garthor, that actually all of you might know that in a bit of time, later in the day, in a couple of hours, it is in the Great Hall, is what it's called. The 3 tribes' leaders and a collection of hobgoblins will all come to meet for kind of a council in which advice and would be given to you, Garthor, their Caliph, and you would make a final decision on you would be able to find out what the goals of these hobgoblins are and make a decision as to how you want to maneuver them.
By the way, do I get like the turban because I'm a Caliph? I don't know.
You get
I'm
sunglasses.
I'm stopping. Whatever.
You get sunglasses.
I wear my sun. I have to stop. So what is their goal, so to speak?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking in general. I'm asking first Esper and I'll ask Esper first. If you have a goal and such stuff. So if you have, and I'm asking him some things about the island, like why is it questions that they might have been dodging.
Right.
About the woods. Why are the woods so shunned and stuff like that?
Okay. Roll a charisma check. You can add persuasion if you have it.
Okay, I don't think I have persuasion. Let's see here. No. I have intimidation. It's the only charisma one. But I'm not gonna intimidate because I have +1 to charisma.
Okay.
And I roll a 1.
Okay.
Not very charismatic.
Okay. He says, he does inform me that, I don't really know, my lord. The woods are evil. There are some attacks on our underground home here. But I would not be the one to explain this to you. It's something it would be better served that you have explained to you by your tribes that serve you.
Very well done. Thank you, Esper.
As you wish, my lord. I do have one small issue.
Yes?
Your friends apparently have friends missing.
Yes.
I know that many might believe that there's a break in trust between you and I, Garthor, as I was once the ruler of these tribes, and now are you. and I am your servant as anyone else down in this home. Are we on the same page?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to prove my trust to you.
And would you do that?
By giving a gift to your friend Yasha. I think I know my way around these woods better than anybody, but I would still like to take the 2 best hobgoblin trackers that I have and find your friends for you and bring them back safely for your friend Yasha.
So you want to go out with the 2 trackers and find them?
Yes, my lord. And he kind of bows his head. If only to earn your trust.
God damn it, Fox.
I will, out of character. I'm just thinking about if we should go with him. Because that would, but then I'm thinking about Fox and with the moon cycles and stuff. I will need to discuss this with my colleagues, but I do appreciate the offer already. I will meet with you later on, and I will tell you my decision.
He nods, entirely understanding.
I do appreciate, though, that is a good gesture of faith, and that will help us definitely. Also, this will the other tribes will be happy to see that we get along well, because I do know you have quite a lot of supporters, and it would only strengthen the society here if the former ruler and the new ruler would understand each other and work together.
Of
Since,
course, man.
You have been invaluable in these 5 days, and if you truly want to gain my trust, this would be a very good gesture, a very big step towards that trust. But first I must discuss it.
Of course. Of course.
Barker, real quick, what is that guy's name? I actually just realized I did not write that down, I think.
Esper. He's Esper.
Esper.
Unbelievable, Mitchell.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, I've got a whole bunch of other stuff written down.
Damn it, Mitchell, you had one job.
Not amateur hour, Mitchell!
I know, 40 million Deutschmarks.
You 40 million Deutschmarks, Mitchell!
That's quite a lot of money. For what is that again? I always heard that, but I forgot.
It's from Freddy Got Fingered. He was pretending to be a high-powered businessman. So he had a wall phone, like a landline phone, in a restaurant, and he was sitting there yelling at an imaginary person. Gosh dang it, Dave! You cost us 40 million Deutschmarks!
I think I've seen that.
Your locker!
I'll never
I think
understand why people don't like that movie.
I've seen that movie once, but I think the only 2 movies I've seen Tom Green in was this and what is it, Road Trip,
Yeah.
and his TV show. And now he has ended up in some talk show on the internet that nobody watches.
He still does things?
Anyway,
It's
I
kind of
know,
like
it's weird, isn't it?
it's like his character from Freddy Got Fingered if he made a talk show.
He peaked when he convinced Drew Barrymore to marry him. So, Drew Barrymore, I almost said. Anyway.
Yeah, Sean, can you get the link so we can send it to the brigade so you know our one viewer, GM Juice, will be watching?
I actually tried to get the link again, but I checked my history, but tried to click on it and it went just general into the things. But let me see here. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired. I was expecting the game to be yesterday.
Yeah, he messaged me yesterday at 8 o'clock my time, like, hey, are we ready to game? And I'm like, in 24 hours. Yeah. And he was like, oh, shit. But he scared me for about 8 seconds. I was like, oh, crap. What?
There we go.
If you want to do something that you're not comfortable taking the werewolf out with just yet, I am in a few minutes going to have to run to town for a little bit because Pokemon is coming out and I got to go pick it up.
Oh god damn it, Fox.
Such an ass.
Way to be a
I'm already
fanboy.
back, though. It's not even for me. I don't
Well,
It's never for you, isn't it?
Well, I guess the interesting thing that was going to happen regarding Helen is just going to have to not happen.
I'll be back shortly.
I should actually also go get
in
wood.
game, we return and Helen is playing Pokemon with the goblins.
I'm not gonna be playing. It's not for me.
I'm kidding, dude. I'm kidding.
It's all good.
But
It's all good.
no, it is not for you. It's for Helen.
Where is the link, Sean? You said there was a link. Where's the link?
Well, I'm having trouble finding it, so.
We'll just go to your YouTube page and we'll just click on this. It should say you're broadcasting.
Fox, how long are you gonna be?
Yeah, maybe that's what I need to do.
Hopefully less than a half an hour.
Okay, I'm gonna do it when you do then as well, because I need to do stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to like single out Fox here, but you know, if you gotta go, you gotta go, and also,
Well, like I said, I'd be right back.
I need like
Right.
5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I have no problem with that. Well, if Solar's leaving too, are we taking like a 30-minute break? We could do a part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
Part 6, part 1, part 6, part 2?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, I know. One shot, part 6, part 1, part 2.
I think we're part 7 now, are we?
It's 7. This is 7.
Part 7, part 1.
We could just change 7 to part 6, part 2, and 7.2
Part
part
6.5.
6.3.
Okay.
we
And then
could
it's
do
call the 8th one just part 1 to confuse people.
Yeah.
this.
Like the Xbox.
Okay, we'll call it a reboot.
Well, we could reboot eventually, like just give it a new title at a certain point in the story.
We'll just call it Off
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
So
it's
do
like
wanna
the
take
modern
a break?
reboot.
you guys want to take that break?
No,
and
we'll
let
call it Backer and Blacker.
go
I'm
get-
fine. I'm fine with the break either way. I'm also fine with continuing the game. Whatever you guys want. The majority wins.
Barker, here's the link.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. So
Thanks, Mitchell.
We'll call the second part Backer and Blacker.
Backer and Blacker.
We can call the second part The Fan.
I'm just gonna turn off my monitor and it'll just be nothingness everywhere around me. So it'll be blacker.
Now we could. So what? Is you guys wanted to do the break, or we could also do this discussion? But
Oh wait, it'll be
it's either up
the
to you.
Bigger and Blacker edition.
Well, let's do the break. I'll be able to spend some time with my wife for a little bit, and then Fox, you hit us up when you're ready to go, and we'll relaunch the feed.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be back as soon as I possibly can.
All right.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, guys. Barker, you want to say the last words until we
Bye
continue?
for now.
Not
Bye for
making
now. See you in a
celebratory
minute.
noises.
See you in a half an hour.